I guess it's my turn to embarrass myself now. Is everyone here? Are there people back there that need to come out? Guys, some antisocial people in the corner, would you like to come out here? Or be escorted back to your rooms? It's a very simple choice.
Okay, I'm here now, you can go.
Well, after you, I don't think I can beat that, to be honest. So, note to self, do not talk after Sano.
Please.
So when I first met the bride... Sorry, wrong episode. But actually, you know, there's been this running joke that's been escalating over the last couple of weeks amongst all of my friends, or a lot of my friends, I should say, that this is now a wedding, not really a party anymore. And I have to say that in the run-up to the organizing, it certainly started to feel like one. And finally, after 40 years, I think I found a legit reason not to have one. I'm gonna have to say, look, honey, all the budget was spent on my 40th. I can already hear my mother somewhere in the background saying, "No, bring me the bill, this one is on me." Anyway, I have to say, guys and girls, honestly, this is, words cannot describe this. I feel so honored and blessed and happy to have people of such varied backgrounds, I mean, in terms of everything. Age, profession, nationality, come from all over the world. 11 cities, I think, we'll cover to celebrate this very special event with me. Why are you laughing? Can you say, this is my, you've done your part. Can you let me do mine, please? I know you love the attention, as you do, but now it's my turn. And I think we cover, so if I go from west to east, we have San Francisco, Sanu, who spoke earlier, obviously. A few people from New York, Cole, Josh was supposed to come but didn't. Unfortunately, he lost it. I'm mentioning the people who bailed, just so that they have it on record. We cover Alejandra came from New York as well, actually. We have London, of course, Paris, Meg, Joe. We have Brussels, Patrick and Julie. Thank you guys. We have Cedric. We have Cyprus, I can say. We cover Greece, a lot of the people crowd and talented crowd here. We cover Persia, Sadas Ma over here. Thank you. We have Qatar, my cousin George somewhere. Dubai, a lot of my family, of course, lives in Dubai. And Bombay, Rob and Farah, where are they? There you go. So, thank you so much for being here. And if there's any inkling of truth in what they say, which I believe, but I guess it's subjective, that a good gauge of one's personality is the people that surround him. It's probably the biggest compliment I can receive right now. Because look at all of you crowd. I mean, I couldn't wish for a better sort of group of warm, fun, good-hearted people. But equally, the way we all ended up here is in itself quite interesting and telling, I think, of my personality, or part of it. In that, of course, some people I never had a choice. For example, my family, my parents. Mom and Dad, thank you for getting naughty about 40 years and 9 months ago. I hope that I will prove that to be a productive evening. Well, actually, I don't know if it's evening, and I don't want to know. I mean, this is one detail you can spare me. Productive to the world.
grandchildren.
In the grander scheme of things, always, okay? And obviously my family. And then, of course, a few others who I met in very, let's say, not predictable, but let's say structured ways of life, schooling and university, like Alexis and Rob and Alistair who talked earlier. I mean, even a kid like me comes out of university with some friends. But then, a bunch of others here I met in the most ludicrous, bizarre, borderline insane, to a lot of people insane circumstances which are just beat the odds. And if I have to say honestly, this is one of the things that I love about life. This unpredictability, this not knowingness, this serendipity, which tomorrow you never know what happens and your life completely changes. And I have to say that this is always how I've lived my life, and I really don't know how to live any other way. And I can't describe it in better ways other than sharing some of the anecdotes here. So, for example, Cedric somewhere here, I met in a cafe in Paris, in the middle of the day, and none of us lives in Paris. And he just interrupted a conversation I was having with someone I was there with, to I like the chicken. This is 3.5, 4 years, whatever, a couple of years ago, to advise him not to go to the place we were talking about, which I specifically remember because we ended up going to that place, Matignon, and we had a great time. In fact, it was fantastic. And despite his bad taste and bad advice, I still forgave him and kept him as a friend. And since then, we've been on multiple trips together, most recently in Tulum in Mexico for a few years. I mean, after we met that day, actually, we just met at the hotel and I was staying the next day for what was supposed to be a cocktail or two. And after 12 martinis, I think we bonded and we stayed friends since, so as you do. Gary, who spoke earlier, I think you mentioned the story, I met randomly outside in the courtyard of the Grove, where I took my parents for Christmas one weekend a couple of years ago, and again, like you said, went out for a cigar because I was dying after all these sort of drinks and food that we had with my parents. I wanted a cigar, and it was a very, very, very cold evening, exceptionally cold evening. Then I think the conversation started was, why does this beautiful hotel, beautiful courtyard not have heaters? Good point. We started talking about the heaters. Next thing I know, he invented his own heaters. He went in, got some whiskeys, Lafroig with one ice, still my go-to. And we bonded ever since. And since then, we've had multiple evenings like that and better, and stayed friends. And my friend, I have this to say about you. A lot of people in this world talk, very few listen. At least when it comes to important things that matter. And you are one of them, my friend. Thank you. Thank you. And then others like, Sanu, like you said, he walked in my office 10 years ago hoping to get some business, which he never did, and he probably never will. And since then, we've become friends, and I think unplanned, I've had dinners in places, and food, I guess, in places, more places than anyone else, unplanned, as in we just happened to be in the same place. And multiple times in San Francisco, multiple times in New York. Contrary to what you may say, you do not have no spice, my friend. I have 80 people here as witnesses. I'm willing to kind of put that to the test. Not more than me. New York, London, Zermatt, Paris, and now Bonn. And hopefully, if we ever get invited by our friends in Bombay, hopefully in Bombay soon. Paolo, I think he's not here, but his girlfriend is here, Sarah. He's on the way. And, well, that means I can say that I can tell the story with more freedom, actually, because she's not here. Paolo, a good friend of mine, and so is Sarah and a lot of her friends here. We met in Cuba through a party, actually not a party, sorry, a week that Manu organized, who's also here, Sigari. And I meet Paolo, and I say, where are you from? He said, Italian, but I was born in Cyprus. I'm like, you're shitting. This is not, I mean, one of the chances we're in Cuba. This is completely unrelated to any of my friends in Cyprus. He's like born in Cyprus, lived his childhood in Cyprus, and I thought, shit, this is... Anyway, so that was the beginning of the bonding, but I think the thing that cemented it was one night when Manu took us to some really dodgy place. Thank you, Manu. And after like copious volumes of whatever, we had everything. We ventured back home, me and Paolo. And we don't speak any Spanish. The taxi drivers don't speak any English. There is no internet, so there's no Google Maps. We're not staying in a hotel, so there's no hotel name to give to the taxi driver to make it easy. There's this weird grid system, and when I say grid system, numbering system is not like New York, which is like first, second, third avenue in a very structured, logical way. It's like it's as if someone pulled a number out of a hat and stuck it on the street. Cuban logic. And we're obviously both highly intoxicated, and we're in the taxi, and we don't know how to get home. Now, how we got home, I do not know. But I do remember that we went round and round the blocks many, many times, and eventually we get home, and we wake up Pachi, who was the housekeeper of the villa, and we made, and anyone who's been to Cuba will know how the food sucks, it's terrible. The best food we had in Cuba was Pachi's paninis, which were just basically bread and butter. And Daisy had the panini, and we decided to celebrate getting home, and we had another rum and then another cigar, I think. And that was our bonding experience. I mean, there's experiences in life which I call close, and there's too close. This was certain. Too close. And lastly, Martin here, for example, I met, who is responsible for, and anyone has any complaints, Martin is your guy. He was the one who recommended Bonn, because he's probably the most well-traveled person I know, so I asked, where should I do my 40th, and we're talking about places, and Bonn came up in conversation, and I thought, actually, that makes a lot of sense. It combines great food, and wine, and countryside, and supposedly made with weather. That's one thing I couldn't control. I'm sorry, guys. I can control most things, but not the weather. But I met Martin randomly in a boring dinner. Sorry, Peter, because Peter organized the dinner. In a boring dinner where our president of Cyprus was talking, and I couldn't be bothered to listen to what he's saying. So instead, I'm talking to Martin, and we engaged. And I thought this is a very interesting conversation. I need to meet this guy again. Peter, by the way, who I met. Who invited me to that event that I met Martin at, I met in an elevator. So, seriously. And so that's how we ended up in Bonn. So if anyone has any complaints, any complaints, go to Martin. But this randomness in my life is it's at the nucleus of who I am, I guess. And I find it the most refreshing thing in life because it opens new doors, new opportunities, new relationships. Sure, some may go sour, some may not turn out to be as great as you expected, but in the end, in the grander scheme of things, it's the only thing that matters really, the big picture, it works, and all of you are living proof of it. So, with that said, thank you very much for being here. It's been a pleasure, it's been a great weekend. I hope it's going to be an amazing remainder to the evening. And in 10 years, when I'm celebrating my 50th, I hope to see most of you there. But also, I can't wait to have a bunch of other people that will be definitive of the 10 years between now and then to come, and I think that's what makes it exciting, who will represent all of the experiences between today and then. So thank you for coming, I love you all, thank you for being here.